Hi guys! I've got a brilliant game from 1859 between Paul Morphy playing white and Daniel Conway playing black. It's an incredibly fast game, lasting only 12 moves, where Paul Morphy sacrifices two minor pieces to deliver a truly fantastic victory. Okay, on the board we have King's Gambit accepted, Knight f3, and here comes g5. You have to keep an eye on that pawn because it could be pushed even further. White ignores it and continues with bishop to c4, preparing to castle kingside. Black responds with g4. Now the knight is under fire. What would you play here as white? Yeah, most of the time, white responds by jumping knight to e5. That's the top choice for white, putting pressure on f7 for the second time. But not Morphy. Instead, white goes for the wild Muzio Gambit. Castle kingside! Of course, pawn takes knight, queen takes back, queen then captures on f4. On move 6, black steps out of theory by playing bishop to h6. It looks like a very natural move. The idea is simply to protect the pawn. Or, if you were playing black in this position, the best move would be queen to f6, because if queen captures the pawn, you can simply trade queens, and black is clearly still up a knight. Or, you can continue with queen to d4 check. After king moves, you'll be able to pick up this bishop right away. Black wins! And if the pawn gets pushed, simply capture the pawn. Okay, now let's take a look at the engine's top moves for both sides. Pawn protects the bishop. Knight to c6. This allows the knight to jump to d4 or e5 later on. And of course, both moves would attack the queen. Bishop takes f4. Pawn to d6. Knight develops. Bishop comes to e6. And on the next move, black castles queenside. If bishop gets captured, pawn takes back. That opens up the g-file for the kingside rook. Black is still up a knight. When you're ahead in material, the simplest strategy is to trade pieces whenever possible. It's one of the most basic and straightforward principles in chess. And according to the engine evaluation, white is down by 2 points. Okay, let's get back to the actual game. No queen f6. Instead, black plays bishop to h6, trying to hold on to the pawn on f4. White responds with d4. Bishop is now assigned to target the pawn on f4. And black continues with knight to e2, a big blunder. But before we get to black's move, what if queen comes to f3 here? It's a very popular move, even though it's a tempo too late. Queen attacks d4 here and tries to defend the pawn. Of course, this is very easy to deal with. We simply push pawn forward. And queen has to move away. And if queen goes to c6, attacking the bishop and trying to force a queen trade, white's response is queen to b3. Pawn on f7 is about to disappear. And the next target is the pawn on f4. Or if queen moves somewhere else, for instance, queen to g5, still defending the pawn. Please feel free to pause the video. What would you play here as white? Are you ready? A tactical shot. Check. If king takes bishop, yes, bishop takes pawn attacking the queen, and there's also the threat of a discovered check. And the best move here is queen to f5, because if queen takes the bishop, then of course queen to h5 comes with an immediate check. Black's queen is dead! Okay, so after queen to f5, it's still keeping an eye on h5. No queen to h5 for now. Instead, we can move queen to e3. Then bishop takes bishop. A discovered attack against the pinned queen. If bishop takes bishop, then of course rook takes bishop. Black's queen falls. Or, what if king moves instead, trying to avoid the rook skewer? Bad news. Of course bishop takes bishop, check. Still, black's queen is dead. What if king goes to g6 here? The idea might be to protect the bishop. It doesn't make a difference. Bishop can't be saved. The best move here is knight takes bishop. After rook takes queen, then knight takes rook. Black is losing here. According to the engine, white is better, with an evaluation of plus 4.4. Because if the queen saves itself, no matter where it goes, then white follows up with queen to f4. If you were playing black here, what would your move be? If you capture the bishop with knight, queen to f6 is immediate checkmate. Or what if queen takes the bishop instead? This is mate in 2 moves. After king to g7, queen to f7, checkmate. So bishop is basically untouchable. Or if black plays a random move, let's say knight develops. Feel free to pause the video again. What would you play here as white? Don't continue with queen to f7. Of course king takes bishop. Let's brutal! Hey bro, king! What's up? Rook takes knight. A beautiful checkmate! Oops, sorry bro. That analysis went a little too long. But it's important because positions like that come up quite often in the wild Muzio Gambit. Okay, let's get back to the game. So it's pretty clear that black is extremely vulnerable to making mistakes here. After d4, no queen to f6. Instead, knight jumps to e2. Bishop takes pawn. Bishop takes bishop. One last question. What would you play here as white? If you found this move, congratulations. You're a genius. Morphy follows up with a 3-point shot. Bishop takes f7, check. If king goes to f8, it doesn't improve black's situation at all. Of course, queen takes bishop, and your monster bishop is completely safe here. So after king takes the bishop, it's time for queen to grab the bishop, with check. Look, king has 5 possible moves, and the problem is not a single square is safe. Here, king goes to g7. Or we can go through all of the king's options. First of all, if king moves to either of these 2 light squares, then of course, queen to f7 is checkmate. And if king goes to e6, queen to f6 or queen to e5. Either way, it's checkmate. And what if king goes to g6? You continue with queen to f6. Check. King has only 1 move. Another check. King has to take. Keep the checks coming. King can only go to h5 and h3, and it's checkmate either way with the same move. Rook to h4. Okay, let's go back. So no matter where the king goes, black still can't avoid defeat. Here, black continues with king to g7. It's checkmate in 2 moves. King backs off, and on move 12, queen to f7. Checkmate. Paul Morphy, the best chess player in the world of his era, finished this game with 96% accuracy. For more brutal and sneaky traps in the King's Gambit, you can click the video on the left side of your screen. It features 10 absolutely crazy and unbelievable traps. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found it useful. Stay healthy and I wish you all success. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you!